just don't know. Come in? I don't know.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Do I need to call someone? What is going on?
I don't know what to read. I can't pick. How am I supposed to decide?
Look, can I sit down?
That's fine, sit down. Who are you?
There's no need to ask questions. I've got something for you. Book of the month.
Book of the who?
Shh, we do the work for you. How does that sound?
Yeah.
All right, now wipe away your tears. It's disgusting. We comb through hundreds of new releases. All right, hold on a second. Here it is. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Would you like to see it?
Part of Your World? There's a goat on the cover. I love goats.
Or Breathless.
I love snow.
The Hacienda. Would you like to see it?
I've actually saved this one on Goodreads. I really actually wanted to read this one.
Or Darling Girl by Liz Mikulski. Take it. Take the book.
Okay. A Peter Pan retelling?
Or how about Holly Black?
You got Holly Black to come?
You must make a decision. Which one would you like me to leave you with?
Can I take them all? How am I supposed to pick?
Just pick one. Sorry.
I can do that.
I should have told you. You can add an add-on, okay, to your order every single month.
I think I'll definitely take the Hacienda. And can I have an add-on?
Add as many as you want. I don't care. Just pick them.
Okay.
Listen, I see 700 books behind you, but I give you 5 and you can't even pick one?
I like the goat. Wait, these are gonna be really expensive though, right? They're hardcovers. I just bought so many books. I don't know if I can do it.
No. Listen. If you live in the States, you can get your first box for $9.99 using the code Emmy.
$10?
I'll be back when you most need me.
Okay, will you come back next month?
Don't look for me. You won't find me until then. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Welcome back to my channel. It's Emma. How are you doing? First of all, I'm so elated because literally all of yesterday, not even last night, I decided for the upteenth time that I was going to rearrange my bookshelves. I wanted them all in the same place again, and so I literally spent all of yesterday doing that, and I am so happy with how they turned out. I don't know, I hope you can see from this angle, we have one black one, the little skinny brown one, and then this one and the other one over here, so it makes like a little L shape. And I love it. I'm really happy with it. And it's just making me want to read and pick up every single thing on these shelves. So today we're going to be going through them. I have some things to read this month because in about a week I start my American literature summer course. So I do have a bunch of random things to read for that, which we'll go through. We have a book club pick, and then we just have free reign. I do think as well this month I'm going to be doing my first 24-hour readathon. So I'm really excited. I feel like maybe I want to plan out or like just have some reads to consider for that video in this video with you guys. So that's what we're gonna do. But welcome to the TBR. The first thing that I can definitely show you is our pick for the Dickens versus Tolstoy book club for May, which is going to be The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. I'm not sure. I think this is just for May. It might be for May and June. I think it might be for May because it is probably the shortest Dickens book we've read so far this year, so I don't know too much about this one. I found this copy thrifted. Oh no, this is the one that actually got spoiled for me in a book that I was reading, but that's okay. This is the one where we follow little Nell and I think her grandfather, who had owned a curiosity shop that he was running, but then it's about how he is hounded by lawyers? Oh no, moneylender. And Nell's brother, Fred, who wrongly believe that their grandfather has a hidden fortune. Through a kaleidoscope round of people and events, Nell and her grandfather eventually reach a safe refuge, although neither of them is destined to enjoy it for long. That is so sad. I feel like this is gonna be so sad, but I'm really excited for it because so many people love the old curiosity shop. This one does have really small print. This is the Arcturus edition, but I am so excited to start this. Oh no, I think I'm actually gonna start this today, so let's pick a bookmark too. Yes, so this is how it looks from afar, and I'm really happy with it. As you can see, I did have to pile some books up here because I was running out of room, but this is how it looks. Let us pick a bookmark. I recently got some new ones from you guys. Thank you so much. I have a vlog where I open a bunch of your gifts, so I think you will see this video beforehand, but this one is from Rebecca. Thank you so much. She gave me the sweetest package, and this just looks so magical. So I think this is the bookmark I want to use. She did also give me, oh, this one. I really like this one because it's like a hot air balloon and it's nice and transparent. So maybe this one. I cracked the spine. Whoops. Oh boy. I currently have my syllabus pulled up for the American Lit course, and essentially what it is, it's a full year course. It's online, but it is condensed into the summer period. So it runs from May to the end of July, which means that it's like very intense, which I kind of considered. Anyway, there's so much to read this month, so I'll just read off some, and then we do need to find some others, which I thankfully already own. So we're going to be reading The Iroquois Creation Story, A Description of New England by John Smith, William Bradford, Roger Williams, a lot of these people I've not heard of, Anne Bradstreet, Mary Rowlandson, Hector St. John, Phyllis Wheatley, Thomas Jefferson, The Declaration of Independence. Everything for the most part is pretty much in this edition of the Norton Anthology. That was a ton I just mentioned though, but I think for the things we do need to get is definitely Nathaniel Hawthorne, Harriet Jacobs, and Frederick Douglass, which are all on my shelf. So let's grab those and add them to the pile, because I might actually want to start doing these readings earlier. This one is the first one we're going to be reading, which is The Scarlet Letter. And as you can see, I have already read this. I read this, I think 2 years ago now, and I really detested it. And like when I was reading it, did I take annotations? Yeah, a little bit. But essentially this is the story of a Puritan village in America. I'm not sure where exactly it is. Well, it's gotta be New England, right? We follow Hester, who is the young woman of an illegitimate child. Like no one knows who the father is, and obviously that's seen as a huge sin. She gets branded with the letter A for adulteress. Isn't it adulterer? I don't know. We do follow the child as well, who is this young girl named Pearl, and basically just how their lives and the consequences and like how Hester having Pearl, and eventually you learn who the father is, affects this town. Just not a huge fan of it, but maybe on this reread I will like it a bit better. I am actually excited to see. I don't remember too much about Hawthorne's writing in general, like if I enjoyed it or if there was anything cool about it. Like I don't remember. I just remember disliking the story vehemently, but I am willing to give it another chance because I know people love this one. I've actually only seen people like love or hate this one, so that is that one. We're also going to be reading both of the ones in here because this is the Modern Library edition that has Frederick Douglass's narrative as well as Harriet Jacobs. I've only read Douglass's so far from in here, but I assume, yeah, I'm just going to do a solid reread of Douglass's, and then I will read Harriet Jacobs for the first time, which is going to be amazing. So that is that one. I do actually have one audiobook on the go right now, which I did start in April, but I'm probably going to finish it today actually because it's quite short, and that is The Pearl by John Steinbeck. I have never read Steinbeck. I feel like he's been one of those big authors that I know nothing about him. I've never set foot in any of his works. I always hear about him. I hear so much talk about him. I actually usually hear negative things about him, that people don't like him, but I think he is on the syllabus later on, probably in a couple of months. So I did want to just give him a try, and I am not regretting it. Like, I'm loving the Pearl. I'm loving his writing. I don't know why I've never read Steinbeck. I think I've just been weirdly scared of him for some way, like in the same reason that I used to be weary of Dickens, which was just silly, because it's just amazing. So The Pearl is a very short story. The audiobook is around 3 hours. And I think so far it's been the perfect introduction to him and his writing, but it's based on, I think, a Mexican folktale, and we're following this man named Kino, whose child gets stung by a scorpion right when the short story opens, and they go to the doctor, but the doctor is just this awful man, and he refuses to see them, and Kino is also a diver for pearls. Like, that's how a lot of the men in the village make their money. They dive down to get pearls and then sell them, but then Kino finds the biggest pearl ever. It's called like the Pearl of the World. And the short story chronicles like his attempts to sell it and to be rich and to like just have things that he's always wanted, and most importantly to send his child off to school for an education, which is basically the thing that he wants most. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I think it's great. I think Steinbeck's writing is so good. So that is one on here, but like I said, I'll probably be finishing this today or tomorrow. I kept telling you guys how I was so excited for finals to be over, but I already miss the atmosphere and the learning and even writing essays. Like, I feel like I just really love doing them, actually, even though they are sometimes really stressful. I've just been thinking a lot about how to be a better English lit student, but also how to just be a better learner. Obviously, if you're a math major, you can go out and practice math problems over and over again. Like, there's a bunch of things you can do for any major in your free time to study better, to get better grades, to have an overall understanding. And it's not for better grades or anything, but I just want to have like a good grasp of everything, especially if I do want to continue into a master's or a PhD or something. And honestly, the easiest way to get better at being an English lit student is just to read everything. A lot of the areas that I feel like I'm missing out in as a lit student is definitely philosophy and theory. I've obviously taken theory classes because that's a requirement to graduate. We had to take the history of theory and criticism along with modern theory and criticism. I really do feel like I am just so interested in theory and philosophy and how that applies to literature, and so I've kind of compiled a list. I have a list on Notion. Maybe I'll share that with you guys later, but I did order a couple of books off of this list that I've created because I kind of wanted to create my own syllabus just for like gaps in my knowledge and stuff that I want to learn and improve on. So I ordered a couple of books that I want to read this month just towards that goal. I don't really know where to start with philosophy. I did create a philosophy shelf, this really little one in the middle shelf there. I do have a couple of options, but I would like to start not chronologically. First one that I ordered was Discourse on the Method by Descartes. I've always wanted to read Descartes, and I've heard so many people love him, and yeah, he's just a cool dude is what I've heard. So I picked that one up. I think they're supposed to be coming tomorrow. And then I also got David Hume's An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding. I'm just really looking forward to this journey, honestly, and like learning more and just having like a good understanding of some things, and hopefully some of the stuff from this reading list I've compiled will help me like in essays and obviously interpreting, analyzing, and all of that stuff. And I'm actually just really excited and into it. People on my shelf that I want to get to, we have Freud's, it's mostly Freud is the big one up there. Those are the two that I want to get to this month. I know Descartes' book is pretty short. I'm not sure how long David Hume's book is. And I don't think I'll like sit down and just read these cover to cover on one relaxing Sunday. That is just a random goal of mine that I wanted to, so yeah. But other than that, other than those two and the syllabus reads, we have complete freedom. The first option actually that I have here is one that's coming in, or no, it is in on audiobook on Libby, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I got this book so long ago. This was a present from Lucy over at Crescent Pages, I think for Christmas. I don't know how many years ago now, but this is, I think this is adult fantasy actually. I've heard so much about this. This is a gorgeous cover. I did start the audiobook a while ago, but I wasn't a fan of the narrator, so I think I found one with a different narrator. But I'm actually really excited to read this. I've heard this trilogy, it is completed now, is fantastic because we follow this girl named Nari, and she lives in 18th century, 19th century, 18th century Cairo. She is a con artist who basically swindles people out of their money by selling them something. All I know is that she accidentally wakes up a djinn. So I'm gonna put this one down. I'm really, really excited. I've been meaning to read this for so long and I think I'm finally gonna get to it. Last night, I did also start on audiobook Graceling by Kristen Kishore. This is an old young adult fantasy. The audiobook production though is full cast. I'm not far enough in yet to see if I'm gonna keep going with it or DNF it because I do this quite frequently. I don't really mention too many books that I DNF, but maybe I should. If I'm just not vibing with the audiobook, I will just put it down. But this one, I remember when we were like 12 or 13, a couple of my friends were like, you have to read this. I'm pretty sure they're still obsessed with this. I've been seeing it get more popular. It's kind of gotten a little resurgence on BookTube and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna pick this up. I'm just gonna pick this up. Mostly because I heard Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction talking about how she actually really liked it and I was like, okay, we're gonna give it a go. I think we have really similar tastes in fantasy and fantasy romance. I picked it up and I'm like kind of enjoying it so far. So we follow, oh no, what's her name? Katza, and she is graced, which means that she has an ability, and I believe I'm like 30 minutes in, but I believe you can be born with like a certain inclination or affinity towards certain things like dancing or cooking, but her grace is killing and fighting and combat, and people don't really like gracelings or graces. They kind of look down on them, they're scared of them and all of that stuff. And so Katza lives with her uncle in her uncle's kingdom, but when this book opens she is like breaking someone out of prison, because I think in this fantasy world there are 7 neighboring kingdoms and there's like little combat and strifes between them all, but I'm really liking it so far. I don't know, I'm really excited for how this goes, and there's already been like a cute boy, so I'm excited for this, but we'll see if I continue with this one. If you have read Graceling, I think it's a trilogy, right? Is it a trilogy? Let me know what you think, but those are kind of my fantasy interests for this month. From the manga stack, which is here now, I really think it's finally the time to pick up Kitchen Princess by Natsumi Ando. I bought this like a year ago, but it just screamed like spring to me, like perfect spring, and I still think I want to make that vlog where I try to make all the recipes from in here, so that's what I might do. All I know about this one is that it looks absolutely delicious. Like look at that cake. We follow a girl who's trying to bake or cook her way to find her true love because this dude made her the perfect flan, but all he left was a silver spoon and he disappeared into the dessert world and now he's gone. So she's trying to cook her way, I think, to the perfect, bake her way to the perfect man. I don't know, I'm excited. I do really want to try to make vegan renditions of all the food that's mentioned in here because I love food, manga, anime, food and anime. Oh my god, it just looks fantastic. I'm definitely gonna put this one on here. This might be the next book I pick up actually, and this will be a nice break from school stuff as well. So 100% gonna read Kitchen Princess. This is the second book in the Howl's Moving Castle series. I guess this is the sequel, but it's not a direct continuation. It follows, I think, a completely different story. This was a gift from Catherine. Thank you so much, Catherine. It follows a guy named Abdullah, who by day is a humble carpet merchant. In his dreams, he is a prince. So I think like it's another cool adventure, like Howl's Moving Castle. So this one looks really fun. Okay, so I think this is gonna be my TBR for the month. Like I said, I will be doing a 24-hour readathon, but I think I will just post like a separate TBR in that video for the readathon. I'm definitely gonna start the Old Curiosity Shop today. Actually, how many pages is this? Okay, it's a little over 500, so it's not too bad. But yes, that one's gonna be started today, and then these ones I'll get to in the order of, I guess, class and whatnot. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this month, and I'm really excited for the 24-hour readathon too. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Ciao.